hope you're having such a good day. I am like a kid at Christmas right now because we are officially going to be starting the pool. And this is going to be the first full week of everything getting done. And I think you guys are going to be so surprised with how much is actually completed within that time period. This is the most productive week, weather permitting. This is going to be probably the most productive week just because of the fact that everything is like so set up. Our pool builder does a really good job of trying to make every single day count and having not even a day go by to where there's not someone out here. They like to wrap this stuff up pretty quick, and they do it in the best way possible. I'm super excited because today they're gonna be marking out the pool. We have had rain every single day, and it has been just like Florida. We've been getting like 3 o'clock showers, and it kind of cuts the day short for these contractors. I'm happy that they get the break, but at the same time, it kind of puts delays on it. So we were gonna be starting to dig mid to end of next week, but I got a call last minute and they said, hey, we can come and dig tomorrow. And I'm like, okay. So she's like, I'm gonna send Eric over and we're gonna mark out the pool. So that is so exciting from someone who hyper fixates on things and really tries to take their time and really design and make every single detail count. It's like a big day. I'm just so excited. And it's something to note too, this is our second go around. So if I don't see maybe as stressed, or I kind of think things are just more fluent and easy and stuff like that, it's because I've been through this before. Now this process is going to be on a much larger scale than our last one. Our last one, we were just under a 1/4 acre. Now we're pushing 2 acres. There's a lot more dirt that needs to stay, and then probably also bring some in. The pool size, our last pool was about 14,000 gallons. This one's going to be 21,000 gallons. I went ahead and did several upgrades, but it's super exciting. So something to note too is that when we did our last pool, I was very limited on where things could go on our size. On our last house, it was a cul-de-sac house, so we were at the end of the cul-de-sac, so back behind the house there really wasn't enough space for a pool. But on the side yards, on the side of our house, there was a lot of space. So that's kind of what we did for this one. This one is very different because it's straight out. I try to take in consideration the sun, of what times of day the sun kind of hits, when the pool is going to get its most sun, when we want to sit and relax outside, to make sure that we're not just going to have that sun in our eyes when we're trying to grill or eat dinner. Having things placed in certain ways are really important, and I took a lot of detail and consideration into that. So one thing to note is our pergola is going to be pushed way off to the side, and I did that because I wanted to have the shade the majority of the day under that pergola. So there is going to be like a tinted screen on top. However, having that side angle of sun makes a big difference. Also, something too, I wanted to have several seating sections just to make it to where you're entertaining and using that space more often. So I did a section for 4 loungers, I did a fire pit section, I did a couch section, I did a dining section, I did a grilling section. Plus that I also wanted to take advantage of the space that we do have out here and have it to be like when we have big parties, like big parties, our kids' graduation, big birthdays, big anniversary, big party celebrations, that I wanted to have a place to pop up some tables, kind of have it to where when people come, they have a place to drop their things. Also just make it outside to inside feel just as cozy. So I'm really excited to share some of all those details, and these renderings will change. I know I have tweaked several things. I have already been nicknamed and given the name Change Order Jeannie, and I do think it is important to make those changes, even though some things do cost more money. However, when you're doing an investment piece, and especially in a home like this for us that we do plan on being here for such a long time, I want it catered to us and our needs and what's going to work best for us, but also longevity for in the future of when our kids grow up, when we're empty nesters, what that kind of looks like. So I am waiting for, like I said, my pool builder to come out here. He's going to be marking everything out. I know he's going to want to talk to me about a couple things, make sure it's all set and done. We did talk about our spillover. This is something too that I want to tell you. If you are building a pool, we have a 7-foot, I wanted it more of a sheer descent, a massive flow of water spillover. We've talked about things before of making sure it's not just like a little trickle of water and it's a full sheer descent. So Tammy had kind of talked to me about it, and she's just like, if that's something that you want, you know, we need to really make sure we're getting that force of water. So I know Eric will talk to me about that today, and that's something I just don't want to budge on. I want it to look a certain way. I want the sound to be a certain way. And I did the same thing in our last house, and I just wish I would have done the upgrade to have it just be a full, but they worked with me for a while to try and alter the pumps and the jets and everything to get it when I wanted to be that full spillover. So, but I learned my lesson. Some things you cannot save on, especially if you want it to look a certain way. You don't want to not set yourself up for success, so something like that can be really, really important. But I'm super excited. These vlogs are going to be probably a little bit more chatty because I want to explain things to you. However, if you're here for just the vibes, see the process, the B-roll, all of that, I can guarantee you they're going to be really good. So I definitely encourage you to subscribe. Make sure you're turning on that notification bell because all of these next videos, we are going to be packing out the entire build process. I think it's going to be over 3 to 4 weeks, and I'll spill all the tea, all the beans, all the drama. I guarantee you there probably is not going to be any drama. Like I said, we've used this company before. We use Flamingo Custom Pools. They are out of the Houston area. And not only do I love supporting them because it's just a family-owned mom and pop business, but man, the care and dedication that they have is just above everybody else. I am lucky with my job. I get to hear their honest opinions of things, and something that I had always heard was Flamingo Custom Pools, and that's how we decided to go with them. In the last one, we interviewed several contractors, and I didn't even call anybody else. I've heard too many horror stories. I just know of too many bad things. These are people that I trust wholeheartedly. They know how to get into my home. I trust them with my kids. They are a part of my family. So I can truly, honestly vouch for them. I'll put their information down below. Any contractors that we use, I will go ahead and put in that info box, but let's go ahead and get started. Eric will be here any minute, and I'm just so excited to share with you guys because this is a big deal for us. I know we're gonna still do a couple more things in the house, but it's just going to be really exciting. But trust the process. I'm sure you will probably have a little anxiety attack about to see all this construction going on, but it's really good. It's a really good thing. Good things come to those who wait. You guys, I know the lighting in here is going to be not great whatsoever, but I am in the car. I am going to be running and going and picking out some countertop samples today, and probably more likely just picking out exactly what I want. I have an amazing contractor that wants to bring me all the samples and I don't have to go anywhere. Countertops I feel are a little bit trickier, that I want to see a bigger portion of it and not just a small piece of stone. So I think I'm actually going to go to the store. I am actually going to the store to actually look out and pick out exactly what I want. I give him a call. He'll be out here today, and I can tell him exactly what I want. So that's going to be kind of exciting. I do remember I forgot my swatch book of the painted brick that's going to be down below. And then we actually decided to, instead of doing a white stain, have a white on top, white on bottom, and then really the stone for the countertops is going to be the only only thing to kind of break that up. I think it's just going to be too light with the decking and this and that. I think we need to add in some warmth to it. It's a really nice treated pine is what we ended up doing instead of a solid cedar. The solid cedar we did in our last one, and it is very dry and they tend to crack. So it's a cheaper option to do a treated pine. It's definitely cheaper and it saves on costs and it gives a great effect. The paint stain that we're doing is a 10-year stain. So it'll actually last really, really well and it'll do well in the heat. This is all the information from my contractor. I'm excited we kind of made that choice. I'll pop on some inspiration pictures of kind of the tones and the warmth. I love the faded look to the wood that's on here, but to be honest, I just don't think that's practical here. That's a traditional stain, and a traditional stain in intense sunlight does not last here. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be going with Sherwin-Williams Duck White for the brick around the outdoor kitchen. The outdoor kitchen in the rendering shows that it's more of a red brick, similar to the red brick that's on the house. The house will be painted. It's just not on the top of the priority list right now. We had to add some electrical and upgraded some of the electrical in the house yesterday. We didn't have enough electrical or space in our panel, our electrical panel, for the pool and everything that we're doing. So we had to add a sub panel. But then also too, there is some safety stuff. You know, our house was built in 99. Modern technology, we've come up with better safety features than what there was back in 99. So we had all of it updated. It was a lot. However, these guys, I think we're just getting really lucky with our crews. We have everything that we do is off of referral base. And then also my pool contractor, they're fantastic. It's a mom and son. The dad's part of it too. And they are such a team and they are on it. We have group texts. We are texting and laughing and having all the things, and they'll be as involved or less involved as you want them to be. Like if you don't want to talk to them and they just want to get it done, you could do that. But then also too, they can be like some of your closest friends. And they're just the best people, just down to earth. They always are going out of their way to make me happy, make the contractors happy. You can tell like they just care so much. So I'm so happy that we're working with them again. I need to stop being so chatty. I need to go and get my button gear and go get that swatch book before I forget. I need to go and pick up some countertops. In our contract right now, we have it priced out for granite. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be upgrading to quartz. The only thing is our contractor, he's like, I don't like quartz. It looks like plastic. So I don't want that. I definitely want something that's going to look more natural. But also too, that can, you know, stand the test of time. I can have hot things go onto it and not have any staining. I don't want to be worried about absorption of water, those kinds of things. So I'm excited to go there and take a look and see what they have. He also told me I can go anywhere. If there's somewhere else that I want to go where they just don't have anything, he's like, you can go anywhere. He's just feeling like I should be the one to bring you all the samples that you need. Like he gave me 3 samples for the stain and I'm like, I don't like any of this. And he's like, I will go to Home Depot right now and get you all different ones. So he went and brought me a whole pamphlet. Then we marked off 2 that he liked, and then he went straight back and picked it out. I mean, all he says is, I want to make my customer happy. I mean, he's just the sweetest thing. But I'll stop being chatty. I gotta go get my returns. I also have to go and get my swatch book so I can have my color of my brick that's going to be painted when I'm picking out stones, so I have a good reference. A little update for the end of the week. So you can see most of the stonework is actually already done. They just have to do, these are like really a lot of cutting in that they're gonna have to do. So that kind of, they kind of do the straight line stuff that they can pump out really fast. But I'm gonna try
and walk you guys around here. We've had a lot of rain. Look how pretty all of this turned out. It's gonna be so nice. So there's still gonna be this piece of stone on the very top. So that's why they've trimmed it all up. But you can see this stacked stone is so, and see how it just is gonna shimmer in the sun. Can you see that with all of my broken nails? I go today to get them fixed, but they're really bad. Can you guys see that? Can you see all that sparkle? Just a good little bling. And then all they have really left is to do the cuts over there. They'll have to do all the stone on top of here. It looks like they have a little bit left on this side to do, but this was one day. Okay, and then the pergola looks so pretty. It's so pretty. So essentially there's gonna be a countertop here and a countertop here. On this side, I'll bring you guys over here. On this side in the center, right here, the structure is 11 by 19. So this is gonna be 11-foot long countertops, and the posts will be kind of inside, close to the edge, but on the inside. But so what's gonna happen is there's gonna be a countertop here, there's gonna be a grill in the center. There's gonna be 3 drawers and a trash can cabinet, I guess, to be in there. And then a cabinet access right here, which a cabinet access will essentially let you get all the way over there, I believe. And then the fridge is going to be here. And then over here, like I said, is going to be another long countertop. There's going to be a sink here. And then the sink will have the cabinet access for underneath. And then, like I said, the accesses will go all the way. They're just like a door, like that double doors that kind of go inside. And then you can actually like store stuff all underneath there. So great storage. And then I believe the fridge is going to be, ooh, that is a wasp. There is going to be a fridge right here on this end. And then there's going to be a total of 6 outlets that are in here. So there's going to be an outlet on one of the top ones. There's going to be a ceiling fan on top. And then my string lights like I have on the front porch, I will have in here. And then I will have outlets on each end of the countertops here, and then like right here, and then right here. The reason we did them in the ends like this, kind of like on a countertop, is because then they can be set inside more and it won't be like cut into the wood or anything. It's just gonna aesthetically look way better. So you can kind of see like this is a lot of that has been done in week 1. So week 2, they'll be finishing up the stone. So today's Sunday, time of filming. They're going to be out here tomorrow. They'll finish out the stonework and that, and then we're going to be starting on decking. And then once decking, just the concrete portion of decking is in, they'll rebar one day and then deck the other day. Once that is in, then they'll kind of start with the brick and forming all of the countertops and the cabinets in here on both sides. They'll have this, which will then be a whole different view. I mean, next week is going to be insane. I mean, week 1 is always crazy to me of how much gets done, but this is the end of week 1. This is what's so crazy to me, is how much actually gets done in week 1. Like, how is this possible? Like, the only thing that got started the week before was they dug. It's insane. So even if you look at all of the rebar and the gunite and the stonework and the pergola, this pergola, you guys, is gorgeous. I'm gonna leave you guys here. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor and give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, because the next video is going to be the following week. And it's going to go really, really fast. I can't believe we're going to be wrapping up this project sooner than you guys think.
Sideways today. How are you guys? We are starting a whole nother week with the pool. So where are we? What's going on this week? So they are finishing up pool tile, I think today. They started a little later because I think they had to go and pick up more stone in that. All of the materials in that are all coming from Houston, like downtown Houston, and we're around the downtown, like true Houston area. And we live north of Houston. So we are not like a hop, skip, and a jump away. I mean, it takes a good hot second to get back up here, but it's looking so good, so good. Also too, I left you guys last week picking out materials and countertops for our outdoor kitchen. it just got so much better. So, okay, like our contractor, he's all with our pool builder. Our pool builder hires subcontractors essentially to do the work. That's typically how it goes. Just like a home builder, they have subcontractors to kind of do the work, right? So our subcontractor that we have, he does beautiful work. Like all these guys are doing amazing, but like he is real old school, which resonates with me so well. But then also too, like every little detail counts, and he cares about nothing besides making us happy and doing things the right way. Like, talk about speaking my language. I just appreciate them so much. So they're wrapping up stain today. We had to go pick up countertops because the place that we went to and I picked out the countertops that I liked much better, they buy from the place that we went to today, if that kind of makes sense. So it kind of cuts out the middleman, and that middleman, it makes things very expensive, but also to the selection in this, hundreds and hundreds of options. I was having to be really specific on what I wanted and how detailed I wanted the stone to be. And I believe we got a quartzite material, and it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. With the darker stain in that, it looks so good. So it was an upgrade, but also too, the biggest part of the upgrade is that the people that we bought the stone from, or that we picked the stone out from, they don't have people on site to cut it to what we need, right? So we had to hire, our contractors hire someone that specifically cuts stone. So real custom. But then also too, they just had so many options, and it was also it was so pretty. I keep wanting to call it Caesar's Palace or something like that, like Royal Palace. It's something similar to that. The first one was this one. This is the one that I'm like, yep, this is what I want. But the slabs are really expensive. So getting every inch is so important. And all of the slabs had these like corners that were rounded and broken off. But this one, the one that we ended up picking out and getting, it was very nice corners. And it was it literally like just came in. I'm the first one to get it. So I'm super excited. We got slab 1. So really cool. Really cool. And it's beautiful. I think with our dark wood stain and the browns and everything, it's so warm and inviting, and it's gorgeous. Like, she was expensive. She was well over what we were going to buy it for. But oh my God, it's like a dream come true. So we have that. Our goal is to have forming starting for decking tomorrow. Fingers crossed. It's literally all weather. If we get no rain or anything anywhere and there's no delays with those contractors, that crew, and they don't have to finish up what they're doing today, they're coming out in the morning, which is going to be so exciting. So they will kind of form, rebar, lay out everything, and I'll be able to kind of see and tweak. So real important day, hopefully, for me to be here, and tomorrow's a pretty good day for me to be here and be a part of that. And then also then the next day they're going to pour, hopefully, then the decking, which is just concrete, and then we'll do a cool deck on top of that. Once they pour our decking, like the decking without like the finishing, it's called cool deck, they are going to start building the outdoor kitchen. They are already running the electrical for the outdoor kitchen and the ceiling fan in that today. So they're kind of roughing all that out, and it just looks so good. It's so good. This is going to be a really cool week. This is going to be not as like fast a pace as last week was, but like it's just super exciting. So I'm excited to bring you guys along with it. Let me know in these comments below. Do you not like my materials? Are you liking the things that we're picking out? Are you liking this series? What are your thoughts? I'm also excited to just like open the door and let you guys see what's inside my garage, because every day it's a box going in the garage of all of the things that I'm buying. The amount of decor I've already bought, it's just insane. I haven't bought a single rug, but I have the tchotchkes. I have the cozy vibes ready to go for outside. I just can't wait to like decorate and like lay everything out and like jump in the pool. So exciting. So I hope you guys are enjoying this series. If you guys are new here, welcome. I encourage you guys to subscribe, because I try and like show behind the curtain of what this is kind of like, what our experiences are like. I try and be very honest and explain everything to you guys, because it's helpful. Like, these are the things that I watch and I look into and I try and learn and like prep for, and see if this is something I would want to ever do, or if I watch this process and I'm like, oh, absolutely not. I cannot deal with all the dirt. Every scenario is very different. Every scenario is very, very different. Every customer is very different. I am change order Jeannie, so I tend to make things more difficult, but I need to run off to work. I will see you guys probably tomorrow. I will give you guys more updates as the day go by, but I gotta finish working for the day. But I always share. I will always show you bits and pieces of each day. You will see the timelines of how this is all working. I'm also trying to timestamp any contractors information, the stone place that I went to today. That'll be down in the info box. So just check in there if you're curious who we're working with, what's going on. I'll tell you it all. I'm very honest, but I hope you guys are having a good day. And like I said, I need to get back to work, but I could watch this stuff all day because it's so cool. And these guys are great. I already gave them their popsicles. I gave them 2 rounds of popsicles for the day, and they know me as Popsicle Jeannie because, I mean, they always have water. They always have Gatorades. I always try and give them liquid IVs and popsicles. You know, like the big things of like 30 packs of like the popsicles. They love them. I did it in their last pool too, and they appreciate it so much. But I will show you guys here what is going on. At least at the end of the day, I will come back or tomorrow morning and show you where we ended on day 1.
All right, I am back home. It is about almost 8 o'clock, and the guys just left. So the tile, they got quite far. Unfortunately, they do have to come back for 1 more day, which is fine. I would rather them take their time and they can, you know, have everything beautiful, which is usually the case for them. They're very, very detail oriented. So here's what they did. So last week, they didn't have any of this coping right here. All of this stonework, none of that was left. Or all of this was kind of left to still do, but it wasn't, I think it was kind of, they finished to like right here. And then they added all this today, and then they have to kind of cut it. But I think what they do is, I'm not using proper verbiage here, but it's like they glue it on, you know, with the grouch or the sticky stuff. See how much I know? They put that on there, and then they let it sit for a day, and then they kind of fine tune cut all these little edges. So you can see like that's not going to stay like that. That'll kind of get cut straight, and then they'll do all their little details to kind of do this curvature. So I'm pretty sure that's kind of what happens. And then I'll come in here. Should I come in here? Jeannie's a little clumsy. I think we can make it work. Let's hold on. Okay. So what they'll do is they'll let all of this kind of sit, and you can see it's pretty curved, but they'll do that nice curve a little bit more. This is a better angle. You can see it definitely a little bit better this way, but has a nice curvature. So then what they did also today is they finished the stonework on there, which I'll show you that here in a second, but then they kind of put this barrier float, don't know what I'm saying here, but they have this piece, and that makes it like super smooth and all prepped and everything for the waterline tile to kind of go on here. So they essentially did this little tedious job, all perfect all along here. I remember seeing that they marked it last week. There was like that like red chalk line, and they kind of prep it to go all the way around. Looks like they have to do just that little bit of corner there, but you can kind of see they did quite a bit. Let's go look at the spa. I want to show you guys that. So they did the rest of the top and the back of the spa, which it looks so pretty. See, with like the dark, I just think it looks so, so pretty. And then you can see they finished all the backside of this stacked stone. I think that's what you would call it, is like stacked stone. Stone is by far, aside from the dig, I think it's actually worse, is the messiest part. But I mean, you can tell, like, they try and keep things clean. Like, they keep everything cleaned up here. But essentially, it is the messiest part. So before it goes any further before decking and all that, they will have all of this kind of prepped and cleaned up. But you can see all of the coping on top here. And here's my excitement, is this is, like, cool to the touch. Our last one we had, I said this millions of times. We built a last pool. Our last pool, we did flagstone, and it was beautiful. This sitting here on the edges like this, which you enjoy doing, right? Even just sitting and relaxing, enjoying the night, you know, listening to music. You might sit on the edge and just have your feet in the water, even on here. You know, you get too warm in the hot tub and you want to sit on top, and it gets very, very hot. So that was really important to me, is to have a really cool to the touch stone. And this is just beautiful. It's very dirty right now, so it's hard to tell, but you can see all the detail in here. It's a natural stone. It's beautiful. So they did the same thing in here. And then they also worked on the spillover tile, which is right here. So we can just go right over. If you guys missed the first video, I'll kind of explain what all of this is kind of going on to the best that I can. This one right here is the return water. So this is the water that has come from the pool pumps, and that's been cleaned and gone through the filters and everything. And it's, you know, got drained from the pool, went over to the pump, you know, to the filters and everything, and then comes back clean in here. So that's the pool one, or that's the spot one. And then here, 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 here. Where are you? Right here. And then that foot jet, and then it's hard to tell, but there's another foot jet right here. Those are your jets. So that's where your hot water and that comes out. Really, really nice, right? The ones that you are probably wondering about, so like this one, this one, this one, and then the calf one, which is way down there. That one is going to be for the feature pump, okay? So when you want to have a massive spillover, especially this opening is 7 feet wide. It's a big opening. It needs a ton of like pressure and water flow to kind of push that over. So that's what those four are, is for the feature pump. And then, like I said, the floor jets, they're just cozy for your feet when the heat is on. That's the only purpose of why we do it, is we don't really like the big jets on all the time. But when the water is heating up and it's chilly outside, yes, it does get chilly in the Houston area, your feet get cold. And so then you can sit here with it on your back and then on your feet. And then you can sit here and entertain and talk to people, watch TV. It's very enjoyable. And then too, the only thing that's left is the light, which it will look like a normal light. And then this oval thing right here is the drain. That's where all the water kind of goes into to go filter, might pour into the spa, depending on what it's doing. But yeah, that's kind of the spa. If you guys needed a little breakdown, if you guys didn't watch, like I said, part 1 or the first week video where I explained a little bit more, but it's looking really, really good. And then on the pergola, you can see they put the water bottles on there to kind of protect and have people aware of the rebar coming out of the ground here. But that's kind of the form for the countertops that are going to be going in. So there'll be an 11-foot, it's really longer than 11 feet because it goes on the outside of the post here too. But there's going to be a long countertop here, and I believe the fridge and no, maybe not the fridge. There's cabinets and then like 3 drawers, another cabinet for trash, and then the grill will go here. And then this will be a long countertop, again, same sizing. And then there'll actually be a bar. There'll be like counter height bar that you can come and have 4 bar stools up there. And then there'll be a sink about right here. So you can see the plumbing for the sink. A little thing that we did to save on cost is it's just essentially going to be hose water. It's not going to be like a hot and cold, it's hose water, and then it will just drain out the back. It's not something that we're going to be washing dishes or anything. It's just to kind of clean your hands up a little bit. If you have marinade, you know, popsicle frosting, any little things that you just need a quick rinse, we'll have a little sink there. And it's pretty little, but it's compact because I didn't want to lose the space. More cabinets, maybe a fridge over here. The fridge is going on one of the sides, I don't remember. But cabinet access will go all the way underneath both of these cabinets. And then they also did the electrical for the fan and that. And then also too, he is going to be putting, you can kind of see the electrical because there's going to be outlets here, 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 and here. So you can see he ran the electrical there. And then too, there's going to be outlets, I'm guessing up on this corner. That's why he's got all this here. And I'm going to be having string lights up top above the fan, have the fan sit a little lower, and it'll go across the top like we did on the front porch. So sometimes it's just the hidden details of all the little things that they're prepping for in that you kind of see. But here's what's on the docket for this week. These are the skimmer baskets too. No, that's the floater. That I think is for it's like a kind of like a toilet, has like a float in there like that, and it has to see like your water level because this is for our autofill, I'm pretty sure. And then that's a skimmer basket, and that's a skimmer basket, and then the 2 lights are like here and here. And then these are for all of these right here are all, and we have them on this side too. That's for that return water. Same kind of thing. All that water's been cleaned, filtered and everything. And then it's really hard to see that nasty water down there. But there's the same long drain that we had in there. There's a long drain in there. So those were 2 upgrades. Because of the feature pump, we were going to have, I believe, 6 of the little domes. So since we were doing the feature pump, they had recommended to do the upgraded drains too. So we didn't have to have 6. It would literally been 6, domes. Not quite the size of the top of the bucket, but I mean, they're pretty close. I think they're probably like 8 or 10 inches. So instead of having all these like bubbles in the floor of your pool and then in your spa, they had recommended to do these, and I think it was worth every bit. But yeah, it's looking really good. This is going to be the end of day 1, week 2. Tomorrow they're going to come and finish the stone. I'm sure they might work on a little bit more of the pergola. I'm sure they're always doing something on that thing. And then they will come and rebar then Wednesday, because today is Monday, time of filming. Wednesday they'll kind of form for decking, and I'll kind of look at it, make sure, we need another change order. Hopefully not. I keep expanding and making things bigger and enhancing every little bit. And then Thursday they'll hopefully come and pour decking, and then it'll probably sit, because it is a holiday weekend. It's 4th of July on Friday, which is my birthday. My daughter's birthday is the 5th. So we'll be spending time with family and getting to relax and taking a break. And I hope the construction crews also get to take a break and spend some time with their family. They keep saying they'll probably be here, but I do hope they spend some time. I'd rather have 1 day of delay so they can actually enjoy the time with their families. But we'll see. I mean, these guys work so hard. But yeah, kind of give you an update. And 2, if you guys are wondering, if you missed again last week's why we have so much dirt, we had to, I'll walk back here so you can kind of see. We had to raise this up. Where is a safe way to go? I think I'm going to walk over there. We had to raise this up quite a bit. So essentially, what they used as a level point is in the corner there by Lincoln. So you can kind of see they had to scrape all of this, but there is quite a grade down. Like, it went pretty low. Let me see if I can bring you guys back here without sinking into some mud. So if you remember the trees that we were, had back here that we had taken down, you can kind of see an update of what the view is like. So if you can see, everything had to be brought way up, if that kind of makes sense. So everything had to be raised way up. So they kept the majority of the dirt that we had for digging the pool. They kept a lot of that, and they didn't need to spread it out too much, but it was kind of wet. So they were doing their best to kind of get it all leveled out. But we have a lot of decking, and this has a really nice slight grade. So if we're mowing in that, the last one we literally had to have stairs put in because it was such a drop off. So I'm actually really happy with this, that it is just a very slight grade. There is going to be more decking back here, and then it essentially is going to wrap around here, and then there's going to be a bump out here, more decking, and then it'll tie into the very corner of the house there. So I'll pop some renderings back up here so you guys can kind of see and remember and click back into what the rendering started to look like. And we have changed a lot. I'm change order Jeannie. I changed a lot of what we did from the renderings, but it's all coming together and looking so good. This is going to be you're going to see the changes, but you have to really kind of pay attention to all the little details that get done. And it's going to be the messiest week out of the entire process.
Balancing on a weary line, too scared to trust you and jump down. I'll keep my status quo up here, won't let anybody come near. I'll fix it on my own. 29 years I've been the same, trying so hard to run from shame. Can I keep up the pace? To fool myself, I don't need grace. Will you be there to catch my fall? Need to be sure you'll hear my call. why I wasted my time. And I'll say I didn't know better, but the truth is I was weak and scared, afraid of the blame. 29 years I've been the same, trying so hard to run from shame. And I will not keep up the pace to fool myself, I don't need grace. Will you be there to catch my fall? Need to be sure you hear my call. Darkness surround me and I don't know why it's so hard to let go.
What a week it has been. We have gotten a lot done in 2 weeks. We just got done with a massive rainstorm and we're trying to get a couple of the things cleaned up today. So it's been a good eventful week, but man, they got a lot of done this week. So at time of filming, it was 4th of July weekend. We just finished up 4th of July. So they actually only worked 4 days this week because they kind of finished up on Thursday. So this was quite a bit. So essentially what they did, you can kind of see all the decking is done. The decking got covered because this was kind of the last parts that they got done on Thursday. And it was just a storm came out of nowhere. I mean, have been Florida. I know I've said this on repeat, but they got all of the deck drains done. You can actually really see this was day 1 of decking, and then all of back here was like day 2 of decking. It's a lot of decking. I think it was like 2,000 square feet, something like that. But it has covered a lot of ground. So you guys saw they cleared all this up. You can see we got a pool here, we got a hose, and you're probably like, what is going on? So unfortunately, when we bought the house, it came up at inspection that the foundation was covered too much. And you can kind of see along here of how high the flower bed was. So when they kind of cleaned and, excavated this a little bit, they kind of scraped all this out and then, made it to where it's supposed to be. And then with decking and that, the decking guy asked me, he's just like, do you want some of these drains? Do you want to add a big drain here and then have it tie into your deck drains? I'm like, no, because there's so much sand. I'm worried that it's going to clog this up and then it's going to clog up all of these drains. So I'm like, I think we need to come up with a different solution. Well, that different solution didn't come fast enough because we end up having to do a trench because of all of the storms, were going inside the house. So essentially we had to rip up the whole boards back here, dry it all out. Luckily we caught it. I mean, it's only happened for the storms that have happened for a week. But the reason why the pool is there is because the water just comes shooting off here and goes in here. So we're going to have to dump that. And we just have been dumping it into the deck drain. But it's catching a lot of it while we kind of did a trench. We have our landscaper that made our house beautiful at our last house is helping, and he's coming to take a look at all this. And we're going to do this as soon as possible because this is not long term and I can't fix what's behind this wall. It was essentially just the trim and a little bit of sheetrock, but I mean, we caught it very, very early. That we have to keep watching to make sure that all of this is draining properly because it was just sitting too high. And then, with all the sand, it was causing a drainage issue. So that was not in our pool, people, at all. That was 100% us. I want to show you guys the pergola, the outdoor kitchen, and that is coming along so well. So essentially, I think I shared this with you guys before. The fridge is going to go here, and it's just over 42-inch grill. And then I think there's cabinets down below in that. So they got all of the electrical hooked up for that. And then the countertops that we picked out this week, oh my gosh, they're just so pretty. They're going to be sitting like 9 inches here and then like 9 inches here. And then the 2 feet back or whatever it is for the countertop. So we have as much room in here as possible. They did do the fan, the electrical for the fan, got that already. They've just been waiting on decking. And then this is for more electrical because we're having outlets essentially in the cabinets because cabinets will be wrapping these posts. Electrical put in here, and then on the back sides of those cabinets and posts over here. And then also I had him do the outlets for up here. I feel like I showed you guys this, but I can't quite remember it all because everything is happening so fast. I want to show you guys a little bit over here if I don't biff it. We did end up having one thing that we changed this week is we were going to have this walkway here and then also here, and it was going to be 3 feet. So it's essentially was going to be like this. To me, that seemed way too tight. So we bumped everything here, pushed that all back a foot. So this is now an ADA compliant walkway. It's a 4-foot walkway, and then pushed all of this back. And then what I did is, because I already had all of my stuff picked out as far as loungers and tables and that, I got the measurements, and then we kind of measured for all the spacing that we need. You're going to see that come and spray up on top here. I'm realizing it just, you know, darn near gets the very top of here. So we're going to need to change out that head to where it doesn't come over here as much, or it doesn't shoot as far. They're really easy. They just kind of twist off. But what I was saying is that's how I came up with this measurement. I can explain it to, if you guys have any questions or if you guys want more detail on that, let me know in the comments. But essentially the way we designed all of this space is for a lounger, a chair, or a lounger, and then a table. And then the table will actually sit, it has an umbrella holder inside of it, or like an umbrella hole. And then the umbrella will come through here, and then that is an umbrella holder. So we have one here and here. So essentially it'll be lounger, table, lounger, and then I think a 2-foot gap, and then lounger, table, lounger. So really nice, good spacing so you can kind of walk to each, but it has plenty of spacing through here. And then you can see this walkway is just so much better. Also too, with our landscaper coming on Tuesday of next week, we're going to be talking about how we're going to do the flower beds, all the new landscaping. We did, I don't know if you guys can see over here, this is a fraction of our landscaping. I was able to snag boxwoods for just over $6 a piece, and I got 53 of them. So one thing my husband got, and I'll pop it here on the screen, it is a rolling measuring roller. I'm not really sure. You kind of walk it along and then it measures, so you can measure, like, you know, how many feet things are. If you want to, you know, count out 20 feet instead of doing a measuring tape, it's just this nifty little tool. And essentially what we've kind of come up with, we'll talk with our landscaper because he'll have, I'm sure, better ideas. But essentially we're going to go like this, and then the boxwoods will come here, but a bed will kind of go a little bit like this, and then all the way back here with boxwoods, because then it leaves like 3 different of like the star jasmine, but then have a trail of the boxwoods to kind of border all the way around, and then it'll on this side kind of do that same thing. So that turned out really good. And then we'll do something very similar over here with the boxwoods lower, and then the star jasmine in the back, and then some kind of drain issue or some kind of drainage, you know, resolution for over there. And then I would like 3 trees or so in this corner, and maybe 3 trees over here. I don't think trees are coming for a little bit because it is the wrong time to be planting trees. I mean, if we keep these storms up, we'd be fine, but it's a little late in the year to be planting trees right now. It's just too hot a summer. But that's kind of similar to what we're thinking, is have a boxwood border over here with the jasmine behind. A lot of the plumbing, you can tell, is like right through in here, so we got to be conscious of that. But again, our landscaper will help with all of that. I'm really excited to see just like a beautiful sunny day because it's been so cloudy. I mean, you can see. And is anybody else, I mean, we're past July 5th now, so are we feeling spooky season? Are we feeling the fall? I'm literally looking up like all of the merch and that to get right now because I'm feeling all of the fall vibes, and I've already been shopping for like fall decor and decorating. We're going to have a good little pumpkin situation over here. But I'm super happy with how this turned out. But I'm excited to see it all like sunny and sparkly, and the flecks that are in the tile. I think just everything turned out so good. Also too, I kind of like the warmth of how this travertine looks when it gets wet. So see how wet that is? And it dries. You can kind of see how it's dry here and then wet here, how it dries, and it dries so bright. I just think it's so pretty. But then the warmth through here, it reminds me a lot of our countertops that we chose this week. It looks so good. So I think that was kind of it. We had major changes this week, right? We had the stone work done. We had the decking done. They worked a lot of behind the scenes on the pergola and outdoor kitchen. This next week, for week 3, they're going to be wrapping everything up. So I hope you guys are subscribed so you guys can follow along on this entire process and we can finish it off together. I believe we're probably going to have 2 more weeks, next week and then the week after, because next week, you know, for week 3, it should pretty much be done. But I'm sure there's still going to be some fine tuning, or if it has to carry into another couple days, depending on whether I'm seeing a lot of rain this week. So that might be more of a realistic thing, maybe in your area, if you get a lot of rain in the summertime or the season that you're going to be putting in your pool, or you're just curious what kind of delays look like for weather. We might have that this week. But I'm hoping we're going to be swimming next weekend. I am hoping I am going to be having a good cocktail, and we're gonna have our grill we sent to the scrapyard. It was free. We posted it. It was rusted and dusted. We got our use out of it, but I am so excited. Actually going to be the last week of the project, or I should say the last video. I was trying to catch up with my pool builder and trying to figure out our timeline, because it's been a hot second since I've done this, and I'm like, where are we? What do we have left? What are you thinking we're wrapping up? We're actually just getting ready to leave to go to Walt Disney World. And I'm just like, is this going to be done by the time we're leaving? And he thinks so. He thinks that we have one delay with one of our cabinets. The cabinets that we ordered were in stock, but then they went out of stock and now they're on back order. So we're just picking out new cabinets. So we have one little delay with that, but essentially everything is going to get done in this video. That's my goal, is to have everything kind of done in this video so you guys can see everything. I'm guessing it's going to be about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks worth, but it's more because we're just waiting for little bits and pieces to come in. But it's turning out so good, you guys. I'm just looking outside. I'm waiting for the construction crews to show up because they should be here any minute. So I feel like if I'm out here, I won't interfere with them, but then I can also see if they're getting started. It's so much fun to sit and watch all of this. I enjoy it so much. All in all, it's been going really well. Also too, I placed in a call to my landscaper. He's going to be out here probably all this week and then into next week. And that is going to be a hefty project. One little tip, I did this with our last pool, and we actually bought a big kiddie, I don't know, 5 foot wide plastic kiddie pool, just like the $10 pools from Target, Walmart, wherever you find them. I put potting soil in there, and then any plants that I needed to save, I temporarily planted them in this pool. It worked so well. I had to actually get multiples of them, but then I was able to kind of keep them in areas where it's the right sun that they need. I was able to just drill some holes in the bottom of the pool for proper drainage. It didn't kill the grass because I put it on the driveway. We have to pressure wash our driveway anyway, so I thought that would be just fine. But it saved hundreds and hundreds of dollars, because essentially 6 months ago when we started the clearing project, that we redid a bunch of the back flower bed, but not perfect. This needed to still be done, but just to make it look a little bit better. But we still spent a lot of money on plants kind of zhuzhing it up. And so instead of just losing everything, we put it in those kiddie pools, those plastic kiddie pools. I think people use them for dogs and that too. But all in all, super helpful, super cost effective. And I think I just got the biggest bags of potting soil from Walmart, and I had them delivered for $10 a bag. It was not much at all. But yeah, I'll go ahead and stop being so chatty, and then we'll get started with the video, because
this is the week. Like this is the week we're gonna look like a real production here. Like it's really all gonna come together, and I think it's gonna be just beautiful.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching for the grand. As willows align, we lose track of time. Head up high, now we climb. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. A bigger scale, the world inhales as we go. I wouldn't want it any other way, no. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. Dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. You are like gold dust over me, just like an angel set me free. Where are you now? Do you feel safe? I don't need an answer, just need some space. Don't let me darken your front door. That is not what I came here for. To used to carry all that weight. Don't need an answer, just need a debate. Don't stop before it's over. The weight is off your shoulder. Everything we fear will go away. You said it's a promise. I said that I doubt that. I'm your only reason to stay. Darkness has robbed side. Hold on to what I believe in the light. Are you doing well? Do you feel fine? Don't need an answer, just need a sign. I'm feeling bad, I'm feeling good. Feeling like I never could. Wait for me, I'm almost there. Soon we're floating in the air. So let it go, just let it be. Why don't you be you and I'll be me? That's what it took to open my eyes. Don't need an answer, just some kind of reply. Some kind of reply. Don't need an answer, just some kind of reply.
Well, it's actually done. It is so bright. It is such a bright, beautiful day here. And I cannot wait to show you guys everything. We have a little bit more things that we have to do. So we're back from Florida. We have a few more things. Are you seeing? We have a few more things that we have to do in Florida. I've actually filmed now a couple videos out here since we've been back, and I just couldn't wait. Like I needed to share everything. But it has turned out so good. I can't wait to just spill everything, show you guys all of the finished results. It's turned out so good. I have a few dead plants I have to refix. And then also too, we're waiting for, I think, 1 or 2 more pieces of furniture. But all the things came in. It all turned out beautiful. We did have to do the landscape in another phase. So that was one thing too. I think I talked in a different video about how I wanted to do a back flower bed with like a raised flower bed. It's easier to do a whole nother phase of things, and we ended up doing that with our last project too, our last pool that we built. Same with Elias. He agreed. He's like, do it exactly the way that you want it. Elias is our contractor, our like landscape contractor that we use. I actually got his information from Tammy with Flamingo Custom Pools, and she had referred them, and we have used them forever since. They do a beautiful job, like a beautiful job, and they know their worth. So, but considering how some landscape designers are and everything, they're not that bad. But he picked out some beautiful stuff. He helped with a lot of stuff. We have a couple, I have a couple boxwoods that I'm looking at that my dog has, you know, lifted a leg on, I'll say, and I need to replant some of them. I got extras just in case for that happened because he's done that before. But I want to show everything when it's beautiful and done. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's all done, but I want to just put some fine-tuned touches on it. So that will be in the next video though. You guys will see it. I'm going to work on it tomorrow actually and just have everything fresh, ready to go for you guys. And then also too, I know we'll be adding on more. I know we'll be doing more. I know there's stuff that this year I couldn't find, so I'll have to wait till maybe next year or the future years to be doing a couple more design pieces too, just like rugs, pots, finishing, things like that. I have some, but I definitely want more. I need a couple more end tables. I'm having a hard time for finding the pools or finding the tables by the loungers, but it turned out so good. I'll give you guys like another little sneak peek. We've been using it just about every single day, and it's just beautiful. So I'm excited to share
everything. At the end of all of this too, I would highly recommend our Contractors Flamingo Custom Pools. It's amazing. G4 electric, and of course too, Lawn's Beautiful. They make your lawn beautiful, and it would not be this way without them. I have looked at too many other pools. I've met with other pool builders in years past. No one does it like they do. No one, and just as a group effort, it just is so good. Hello you guys, I hope you're having such a good day. I have been so excited to film this video for you guys. I will tell you, we have been living our best lives out here. This was by far the best thing we have ever done for our family. It has been so amazing to enjoy and to create the memories, and I'm sorry if you can hear the cicadas right now, but they are in full force right now. But it has been just so beautiful of a summer. We've had so much time that we have been getting to enjoy out here. We have been living in this space. Everything has turned out beautiful. I probably am going to be doing this in more in-depth of a video, but if you guys have questions, if you want to do a Q&A, if you have any questions for my pool builder, I'm happy to reach out to them. They're fantastic. If you guys didn't watch any of the other series, we used Flamingo Custom Pools for our pool build. This is actually the second build that we had with them, and they were above and beyond per usual. And this was the largest project I think we will have ever done in our lifetimes, and it was amazing how well everything went. So I'm super happy. I want to go ahead and walk around and kind of share you everything, but I want to tell you to the time of day that it is, because that is kind of an important detail. As of right now, it is 11 a.m. I want to tell you that for time of day so you can kind of see sun, the different shades, why we picked different locations, because I'm sure you guys are probably going to be like, why would you put a pergola way over there? I'm going to explain all the details, all the materials that we used, everything. I'm going to go in pretty good detail of everything. And then of course, everything that I have for furnishings, candles, fans, lights, any of that, I will also link down below. So I want to start here to show you where it kind of all started with our existing patio. So our existing patio kind of went in a curvature like all through here, and then we had our grill kind of right here where this dark spot was. But what we did is they actually broke up all of this when they added the deck drain. So this actually was in the existing concrete that you probably saw them bust up. They added the deck drains, and then that was kind of their guide on this corner for all of the flow. I wanted to have an area to where I could have a basket full of towels and that I always bring out, but then also a drop station for people's keys, sunglasses, things like that. Have a little lamp on at night. We did add electrical out here. I am still considering adding an electrical box up here because I have all my cords and lights for my string lights. I like at night, and yes, I will show you everything at night at the very end. I'll have the fire on, I'll have the lights on so you can see everything. But we did go ahead and add these string lights. I just picked them up from Walmart. My husband and I did it, and then you can see I have one out already, but then you can see they're just these little like latched hooks. It's just like what we did on the front porch, but it just adds a little bit of warmth and ambiance, and I absolutely love it. And then turning around here, you can see a much better view of kind of everything that we did. So you're gonna see this big open area here. The reason why I left all this here is because of the fact when we have big graduation parties, birthday parties, like massive celebrations, and I need extra tables for presents and cards and display things right here, to have like a kiddie table, to have an inflatable screen, whatever it might be. I just wanted to have an open area to where you feel when you walk out the door just this massive entertaining space. So I believe we have just under 2,000 square feet of decking. And this is what's called Cool Deck. So it's concrete, and then they put this textured paint essentially over here, and it's like 90 degrees today, and it is very cool to the touch. And what I love about that is that you can just walk around barefoot. It's not burning your feet, but it's really nice. And then the fire pit section, this I all got separately.
So the chairs, I think I can still link, and the fire pit, I think it's sold out for this season, but you might be able to get it next year. But you can have that as an add-on to where it's a designated spot. However, I wanted something to where I can have it as a table. I can have it to where we could move it completely out of the way and maybe put it over here, put it over there where the loungers are in the front yard. You never know. I wanted something that I could move around because I tend to move my furniture and that around in my house a lot. But these are all swiveling chairs. They don't move too much, but they will just swivel around. And then I also put little pads on the bottom to not scratch up any of the decking. And then for this sitting area, I got all of this was a part of the same collection. So all of this, as far as like the chairs and that, is a part of the same collection as all of this. The tables, the end tables, the couch, all of that. And this you could buy a corner piece and make it a sectional. I just wanted a big couch because I wanted to fill in kind of this large space. These are actually ones for umbrella holders. You can see the hole in here. I was planning on putting it over there. I just didn't like it because that wicker is just a little too different than this wicker. I really wanted the Pottery Barn sets, but they were just not in the budget because of how much furniture I had to buy. So this worked out really great. I always say grab an inspiration and work your way off of that. These pillows I picked up at Lowe's, and this I picked up at the Disney Cruise when we went in May. And then another end table, and then this big corner umbrella is a lifesaver. So right now it's still 11 o'clock, so I would say within the next like 2 hours or so, the majority of this will be shaded by this umbrella. This does have solar lights on here, and then this all lights up, and then I don't know if you can tell, these like white strips are lights. So I love lighting, I love a mood, I love ambiance. So having that light up has been really, really nice. And also too, these are also storage. So right now this one doesn't have too much in here, but then in this one is where all of the kids' toys and games and bins and water guns. I actually just went through a bunch of their stuff, so they're going to be getting some new stuff because they have been using it. This I wanted is just like a blocked area to kind of block out anything from the street, give it more privacy. We do plan on putting up some more privacy, but we'll do that in another phase of landscaping. These will get really big probably next year, so they'll actually cover all of the pool equipment and that. If it doesn't cover enough, I have like these like metal slats that will kind of go around and completely cover that. I'm still considering doing it because it would just act as like a really good blocker, but I haven't quite decided. So I've been trying to just let things settle in, see what's working, what's not working. What's not been working has been these pots, and I've never killed plants so bad in my entire life. I've had multiple sets of plants in here and they die every single time. The fertilizer and the soil was all fresh. It was all new, and it is killing every single plant. The vines have been doing too bad, but like you can see, I'm just being honest. Like I cannot figure out why it is. I'm wondering if it's something with the plastic that's killing the plants. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. And then these bar stools, I wanted a counter high bar stool situation to where we can entertain, have drinks. So this space is going to be a 5 foot, where on the back of that one's only 3 foot. And I wanted this because I wanted it to be very comfortable. Even if there were people sitting here with their chairs and drinks and everything, it really wouldn't get in the way of anything. And then also too, it kind of is nice to have this in the background. You can overlook everything, still talk to the grill master, have someone make you a drink. It's just been so nice. And then this table I actually picked up at Lowe's, and it has been so nice. It's metal, and it has a really, really pretty finish on here to kind of make it look like wood. And then it also has an umbrella holder under there, but everything is so wipeable, durable. This will last the test of time, and it's just beautiful. I loved these skirted chairs, and in the display it shows to have swivel chairs on the ends. I don't like that. I would rather have it to where they all look the same, so I opted to get all of the same chairs all the way around. This fridge, I'm definitely going to link this fridge for you guys because it's not the highest quality, but it was very affordable. It keeps going on sale, but to me it was actually the layout of this fridge that really made the difference and how deep it was. And then I have our Disney Cruise Line coasters here. So just when you grab a drink, you can grab a coaster. I picked these up on the cruise and they told me I could take them. I just love them. And then we do have a storage cabinet that actually goes all the way back in here. One thing I didn't explain very well was the outlets. There are outlets on each end. So right here, and then of course two on the back sides. But we also did one behind the refrigerator here just so it makes it easy. So there's another double outlet back there. But then this cabinet, I literally can open it up and get all the way underneath. And then these countertops, I just love so much. They're just so pretty to me. This was a big upgrade, but I think it was worth every penny. And then I have my Disney Cruise Line towel here. You can buy these on the cruise. And then this is our sink. So this has just one setting of water. It's essentially just hose water, but it goes out and drains out all over here. It's not gonna flood anything or do anything, but just to kind of rinse your hands and that, this does move around. I will link the one though that I wish I would have bought because it kind of like swivels around a lot better than just this moving side to side. But I love that you can store this. Something I am gonna be doing though, instead of having this wood like top, I am gonna go and bring this because I know there's the local place at here in town that has these countertops and like scrap pieces. I'm literally gonna take this and have them make this board essentially for the sink cover and have it be this Taj Mahal, I think it's called, countertop. So it'll look like the countertops on top of here, and you'll just see like this border. So just something as a note too, we had a little piece of scrap from under the grill that I could have had them do or at least save, and I just never thought about it. I'll keep you posted on how much that costs. I can't imagine it's going to cost that much because of how small it is, but I'll still keep you posted. I do like to have just a little lamp here at night, some flowers, and then some soap. And then something too that I did talk a little bit about in the construction videos, I wish I would have put this outlet or this switch on the other side, like right back here, just because it's all enclosed, so it's fine for the elements, but it would have been hidden a little bit more than just exposed there. We were gonna originally have it here, and I'm like, no, let's definitely put it back here so it hides more, but that would have been the better detail to do, in my opinion. This I usually take out, but this just stores in the drawer over here, but it is for the fan. And then these switches, this one is for the fan, and then this one is for the light switch up here, which does these lights, which I think is really, really handy. And what I did have them do is do an outlet up here so you guys can kind of see, and then too, if I had like a little bug buster or something, that could turn that on and off as well. And then heading over here, we have just 3 sets of drawers. We do our, you know, random remotes, chemical things, sunglasses, our go-to like little outdoor junk drawer. But then also too, I have some grilling stuff here for my husband, and then this is like hand towels, and then it's like these little covers for the bugs and that for your food. This storage cabinet is vented for the heat that comes out of the grill. This grill was probably one of the best buys that we did. All the grills that we were looking at were at minimum $4,000, and they weren't going to be nearly as big as this. So this is a 5-burner, but it is massive, massive. Like, it is just the most ginormous thing ever. And then what I think is great about it is that it does have lights. So you can kind of see on the bottom here, the lights will come on, but then also too, it still has the lights up here that you can kind of see, and they're just by a button. I absolutely love this grill, and this was a fraction of the price. And then it still has the pan that you could take it out and clean. It's just the best. And then, so all of our propane tanks that are under here. And then this is our trash can. So this is just a trash drawer that we got, a trash can. I can link all of these cabinets. I will tell you one thing though, if you get this cabinet, you have to buy this trash can, because it took me about 2 months with help of friends to find the right trash can. And then kind of going around the back here, we got these 2 deck boxes. They're both about 270 gallons each. And what I like about them is this one is just for the covers for the grill, and then like the overhang umbrella and the fire pit, all of that is in here. But then also umbrellas, you know, cleaning little things is all over here. And then this is filled with pool floats. So like these are ginormous pool floats. So instead of them getting
faded, you know, worn in the sun, they all fit in here really well. And this is full. As you can tell, like, she is really, really full. And then the loungers, this has been probably one of the better buys as well. So I snagged these from Walmart. They are the nicest fabric. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like them because they're a little bit more gray, where everything else I have is definitely more tan. And I love them, and they're far enough apart so you really can't tell. But this faded Scotchgard fabric is so nice. And then also too, these cushions are so thick and so comfortable. So comfortable. They're definitely adjustable. I would love to have tables for each of here. I said this, each of these chairs is for one of my best friends. So all 4 of us have our own chair. And then I did do umbrella holders between here and then here. And you're probably wondering, like, why wouldn't you do 3? It's because I did 9-foot umbrellas. So really 9 foot, 4.5 on each side, 4.5 on each side. We could all be in the sun, or we could all be in the shade. But then also too, if you wanted to just have 2 in the shade and 2 not in the shade, I just wanted to have that option. And then these are fantastic. So in my last pool, I had actual ledge loungers, and they were great, but I never used them because you're wanting to sit up more in them, and these you actually can sit up more, and they're just so much more comfortable. So you can pick these up on Amazon. I got them $50 off at Sam's Club, so I'll try and link them in both places if I can. And then the table you can get again at Sam's Club or on Amazon. It's just a little bit more on Amazon, but they actually go in the sun shelf here. So the sun shelf I made smaller because I wanted it to be a non-official sun shelf. So this is, I don't quite remember the measurements. I remember that I took the measurements from those chairs and the table to make sure that they would comfortably fit and you could still walk around. So I will show you everything too when the umbrellas are up, the chairs are in. You can see it like fully in pool mode, I guess you could say. But these fit really well in here. There is an umbrella holder in the center. And then I also did umbrella holders here, because I wanted people to be able to sit in the shade here on all of these steps that go across. So I think that kind of goes into a perfect way of just starting to talk about the pool. So I believe this pool was 21,000 gallons. It is a very, very large pool. It is 19 wide by 37 long. We went from 3.5 feet deep to 6 foot deep. The spa is a 9 by 7. So it's 9 feet here and then 7 here. The spillover opening with that nice, beautiful sheer descent is a 7-foot opening. I will tell you a couple details about that opening here quick. So if you're wanting a full, beautiful sheer descent, and I show you like this because it just perfectly spills over, and that's exactly what I wanted. I wanted just a perfect spillover, and I just think it looks beautiful. You need to have something strong that's gonna force out all that water. And I'm not saying I know it all, this is just what they've explained to me. But there's actually a jet here and then another jet right here. And that's a whole separate force to go ahead and just push that insane amount of water. With that, to have that sleeker look, because it was gonna have to have like another dome filter to take out more water. So if you can kind of see this long drain here, but then also the pool drain is kind of that same way. It just has a really big sleek look to it. So yes, was it an upgrade? It sure was, but it was worth every bit because the look of this is exactly what I wanted. I also can't tell you how much I love, and I did the same thing in our last spa, is having such a big spa. I love a big spa. I also love a raised spa because especially when we have the TV pulled out. So we have a TV on a cart that comes out here, and it doesn't have to be stored out here all the time. It can look beautiful, and then when they want to watch football, they can pull it out. But also too, it just kind of gives more seating off of here. And then also too, if it starts to be more of a wind down chill, you can move from this entertaining space to this entertaining space to that entertaining space. To me, I just love this here, and having it farther away is only because of the sun. If I were to have done everything over there, put the spa over there, everything, I mean, it's a little after 11 now, all of this would be full sun because this is east. This is due east right here. So then that sun
come and sets way over here. So you can see the shade that it already has. It's gonna be even shadier as the day goes on and progresses. So that's why I didn't do anything over here. I didn't do anything over here, and I didn't do anything over here, is because of the sun. I wanted to really maximize the sun and have it be utilized in the best way, because in the heat, you are looking to, you know, protect yourself and get away from that sun as fast as possible. So having this big structure, this big space over here just makes all the difference. And then, like I said, I just wanted it close to each other. I wanted it entertaining. If you go to the fridge, grab a drink while we're all hanging out in the hot tub, that's great. And then also too, for the kids in the winter time, they miss the pool so much. So this is a mini kiddie pool essentially. Because it's so big, it is a really easy thing to heat up. Usually in the coldest of winter, it takes about 45 minutes at most to go and heat this guy up, and they can play and have fun. I can turn on a show, we can grill and have pizzas or chicken, steaks, whatever you want to have, and it's just a nice little way to entertain your kids in the wintertime. It does have a step out right here, and then also too, I don't know if you can kind of tell, a ledge right here. I'll kind of step up so you can kind of see. There's a ledge about right here, and so this sits a little bit higher, and then this sits a little bit lower. Over here, this was a really good thing too. This is something that I noticed our pool builder is really good at, is finding different ways to kind of sit in the deep end. So this is definitely our deep end. I always say kind of past the point here is definitely going to be the deeper part of the pool, and it has this really nice ledge here and then a step out. So when you want to get out of the deep end, you don't have to pull yourself up or have an ugly ladder. You can have these and either sit here or climb out. There is a small just little seat over there, but that's usually just to kind of catch your breath or do whatever. That you could have done another like step out over there, but that would have been a tiny little place to sit and climb out. It just would have been too congested. We have lights here, here, and here. We can control everything on our phone. They're color changing. They have different themes. I just love it. And adding a little bit of curvature to a geometrical shape pool, you know, I think adds a little softer touch. This is a travertine. I think it's called Caesar's Palace, something Palace, and it's such a beautiful travertine. It actually looks less white when it is wet. It kind of has a warmer tone to it. You can see like this was a little wet right through here, so it's a little warmer, but it's such a pretty look. One thing I wish I would have done, but it wasn't possible, I asked, is I wanted to have this Caesar's Palace, this travertine on here. I wanted it to kind of wrap the facade of the spa. It was too thick of a product to be able to do that, maybe too heavy something. It wasn't going to work. So she had recommended this, and I think it turned out beautiful and something very different than most other people have. And then this blue waterline tile, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think that the variation of the white and the blue really helps with the hard watermarks, definitely as time goes on, to show like or hide maybe the different stains from the hard water, and that it's definitely something that's majorly prevalent here. And hard water it's a pain. I'm sure you guys have all dealt with it at something, but it is so hard to clean. So at least this will disguise the inevitable. But I absolutely love it. I just want to give you guys a little bit of updates too on stuff that we did throughout this whole process of getting all this cleared. But essentially what we were going to do is a big flower bed in the back here. I at first was just going to have it just like regular stone, and then I'm like, I would really love the brick, to tie in more of the brick from on the outdoor kitchen, to have it over here. And that, I'm sorry, that you guys know being outside is the rooster. He's always here. But I wanted to do this a certain way, and it was going to cost a lot, like way more than we were planning on spending, because I wanted to upgrade it to all this brick. However, I feel like it would be very easy to just do it exactly the way I want it at a different period of time. So we'll probably do that next year, but I'll kind of give you guys a look from back here so you can kind of see what it all kind of looks like. But it's such a transformation. And then I want to give you guys a sneak peek back here too, because this was all cleared here. There's nothing left. We've had 31 pallets of sod laid, and then also more trees taken down, You guys have been a part of that whole entire process, and it has been so cool to watch. And then remember how thick and full? I'll come back here by the trampoline because I remember walking you guys through that initial day, and I was standing right here, and it was like full woods, like full woods. And so I think this is about all the clearing that we're gonna do. Our land goes way farther back and over on each side, but we just kind of like the privacy. We'd love to have maybe a fire pit or something over here. I don't know, we're still kind of playing with things, but I love the trampoline here because it does get covered in leaves. However, the kids can always be in the shade, and that's really, really nice. This is Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown was hidden in trees, and then we had a brush pile through here that we had cleared. He had some really burnt ends on the bottom here, so I just kind of cleaned him up. He's not gonna look like a topiary, I promise, but he's definitely gonna get decorated for the holidays. And then all of this we had sodded and cleared, you guys are a part of. And then these trees we call the 3 caballeros. And then I want to take you guys out front, but one more kind of view from the back so you guys can kind of see. The roosters are so loud, and multiple of my neighbors have roosters. I don't know if you guys remember all of this kind of getting cleared, having all of this done. Our neighbors are doing a little bit of construction, so you can probably hear that, but do you remember having all of this done and having it all cleared? It's just an insane change. And then look at this, you guys. Like, look at how different all this is. You can kind of see where it all was. Remember in our first ever, you know, landscaping video, I went and cut all of these down. They were 7 feet tall. And then they redid this. They added some curvature here for me. And then we planted 2 sycamore trees up front. We had our water oak cleaned up, and then our pines had all of this cleaned up. It was literally the biggest labor of love, but 31 pallets of sod. Literally 31 pallets of sod. I'll bring you to Frankenstein. This is what I call this side of the house. We had to have a lot of the upgraded electrical done, and we had to have this big panel put in so you can kind of see. We had them actually pour a generator pad, and I mean, no generator needs to be this big of a pad, but I wanted room for my hoses, my deck box, because that's all of our hoses and gardening things I keep in there, and then also space for a generator. It's gonna need a little bit more room than that, but I wanted to just have some extra space. And then 2, you can see we had some electric put in here for all of the holiday lights, because you guys know I love that. Having some rocks we put in. We had all of the pool equipment have rock behind it, so it's just really easy to take care of. And you know, having all the weeds and everything constantly cleaned up is always something really, really nice. And then you can see it kind of blocks off the whole back of the pergola and just definitely gives a little bit more privacy. But that is everything, you guys. Let me know, what was your favorite? What was your favorite material? What was your favorite, you know, part? Is it the pool? Is it all the outdoor living areas? Like, what was your guys' favorite? Was it the land clearing? Was it, you know, cleaning up some of the trees so you can see the land more? What was your guys' favorite thing? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Nothing's gonna hurt my feelings, so you guys can let me know in those comments down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and give it a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.
Turn out just maybe, we can rest in clouds and suns. Maybe, just maybe,